Welcome everybody to Corvus Twigs Bird of the Day. Now, of course, this is a special stream. And what do we always do on our special streams? Whether it's a big party stream or an anniversary stream or a birthday stream or something like that, we gotta do a special kind of birds. And what's the most special kind of birds? Can any of you guess what the most special kind of birds are? Huh? Huh?
The you kind?
Yes, the you kind. Corvids! Farmyard Crow knows, right? It is Corvids! Wait, did Corvids forget to change the category? Yeah, I forgot to change the category. We're gonna do, yeah, we're not playing Fall Guys anymore. We're playing trivia. Okay. But anyway, what is the most important kind of bird? It is corvids. And so since we're doing corvids, what kind of corvid have we got today? Oh, there's so many corvids. But today's corvid is the Canada Jay. Look at those little cuties. Yeah, little cutie. He's a super cutie. I guess you three don't think you're cuties.
Very cute.
Yeah, you're very cute. He's super cute. Yes, the Canada Jay. Much better than the Canada Goose. Definitely the best bird that has Canada in its name. So let me tell you a little bit more about the Canada Jay. They've actually got a bunch of different names. For a while, they were known as the Gray Jay most commonly, but they also have the They also have the nicknames of the Camp Robber and the Whiskey Jack. These some good nicknames for a bird. I can have myself a Whiskey Jack. All right. Good old Whiskey Jack. So these are decent-sized birds, about 9.8 to 13 inches long. So, you know, just kind of looking at them without something to scale, it's like they look like they might be a little small songbird. No, they're actually pretty decent size. Pretty decent size. And an 18-inch wingspan, it's pretty big. So, like, if you're familiar with the Blue Jay, they're about the same size as the Blue Jay, maybe just a tiny bit smaller, but pretty close. Weighing about 2.3 to 2.5 ounces, so don't weigh too much. And they got a great lifespan for a little bird. On average, about 8 years, but the oldest banded one in the wild ever found lived up to 17 years old. So that's a pretty good lifespan. But one of the things that gives corvids good lifespans is that they're family birds. They really take care of each other. The parents protect the babies, but the whole flock protects the babies. Very good. Community birds. Yes, they are in the family of Corvidae. And, yeah, they're a type of jay in the jay genus. And as you can see there, the Canada Jay is primarily found in that country that's above the United States. Also, a lot in Alaska. And down in the Rocky Mountains a lot. And they seem to love the Pacific Northwest, but for some reason there's that little white strip down the middle of the Pacific Northwest, and I don't know why they don't go there. Maybe it's a mountain range? I don't know. I haven't asked you, Scrubja, why I don't live there. Maybe they don't. But yeah, it looks like they get all the way over to Prince Edward Island. But not in Toronto. They don't, no Canada Jays allowed in Toronto. Well, actually, if you look at this map, Canada Jays do not live where the vast majority of the Canadian population lives.
Huh.
Because that little white strip in Canada that you see over there, that's where most Canadians live. It's kind of interesting. But hey, if you're in Vancouver, you see a lot of these fellas over in Vancouver. Even the Canada Jays cannot afford to live in the GTA. Yeah, it's true. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Like I said, they're very social birds. They live in family groups. Yeah, they're big family birds. Family birds. They love to hang out with other members of their own species. And it's going to be family members, but also just, you know, other birds they get friendly with. They get good friendly. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. Canada, in the laws, in the books, does not have an official bird. But a Canadian publication did a big survey, and the Canadian Geographic poll, you know, it's a big magazine publication that also like has like government ties. They were named in the poll as the bird that should be the national bird of Canada. So that's like they're the unofficial bird of Canada, which Canada, good job. Picking a corvid over a goose, excellent choice. excellent choice. I know when most people think Canada, they probably think the goose, but yeah, let's get this bird on top. Let's make that official. Make it an official designation, folks. Come on. Come on. Now, they have some pretty cool behaviors. So, you know, go out around, you can find some food, And they're like, this is good food. I'm not that hungry now. And you know what? When it gets cold in the winter, I might need this. So they actually use saliva to stick their food to trees around where their nest is, so that it stays stuck there, and they can eat it later. So they literally will hoard food by sticking it to trees and saliva. And so there'll be like whole tree
Cool.
trunks that just have a whole bunch of food just stuck to it with bird spit glue. Can I stick my food to a tree? Nah, I just eat anywhere. Yeah, I swear they're doing. They're trying. It's like a bear bag. Yeah, he's
They
putting
have
it
their
up
own
high.
buffet.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a little buffet. Now these birds, if you notice that there was just a total solid map of where they live. Most of my range maps are going to have like, oh, they live here during breeding season, they live here year round, and they live here during the winter time. Not the Canada Jay. They stay put year round. They do not migrate. But boy, those colder Canada winters, it's brisk. That's brisk, baby. It's cold. So they've got a few adaptations that help with that. For one, the sticking of the saliva thing lets them have food storage available in the wintertime. But also, they have really thick feathers that go down over their legs and feet. So, like, the feathers on their feet go down a lot further than most other birds. And also, their feathers cover up the nostrils on their beak. So that helps keep them nice and warm. Very, maybe don't have a ton of feathers, but they've got very well strategically placed feathers. But also, their feathers are pretty dense, pretty fluffy. They're very good feathers for surviving in the cold weather. And of course, in the wintertime, they do grow thicker and heavier feathers, and then they molt a lot of them out in the springtime for the hotter summer months. So yeah, great adaptations for being able to deal with the heat and the cold. Now, one thing about these birds is these birds do not give a crap about humans. They are very bold, and that's where they get their camp robber nickname. Because it is well known that if you are camping, if you leave food unattended, a Canada Jay will swoop down and grab it and steal it from you. They are notorious for stealing food from campgrounds and from people. It's like, yeah, just don't leave food out where there's Canada Jays around. They are little thieves, and can you blame them? Can you blame them? I can't blame them. Steal that human food. But again, so it's like they're actually very easy birds to feed, and they say that it's, in a lot of areas, you can put some nuts and berries and stuff in your hand and just hold it out and still, and a Canada Jay will often fly down and land on your hand and take some of that food. So that's pretty neat. You can try it sometime. That would be pretty cool to have a bird just fly over and get some food from you. Especially a corvid. Yeah. Neat little... And, yeah, they, interestingly, they are usually going to do their nesting in February and March and have their babies when it's still pretty cold out. And then they usually only do one clutch of eggs. Now, normally birds, especially ones who start early, will have multiple clutches of eggs per year. They'll be like, okay, we got one round of babies. Now let's give us another round of babies. Nope, they only do one clutch per year, and they do it before it gets warm out. And it's just like, okay, their babies have fledged and left the nest, and it's like late April, and it's just like, should we have another? Nope, they don't do it, which is really, really unusual for passerine birds. Yes, you just don't see that kind of behavior very often. Another thing that they do that is very unusual for passerine birds, which is the small Persian birds, is that most of them will be, when they're flying and stuff and they're carrying food or stuff for their nest, they'll carry it in their beak. But the Canada Jay carries it with their feet, which is really, really unusual behavior. So these are a very unusual, atypical bird. They do whatever they want because they're the Canada Jay. Because they're a corvid. They're too smart to follow bird norms. I just think they're super cute. So, my thoughts? They're corvids. So it's like, obviously, they're top tier as far as birds go. It's just like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, should this even be an honorary corvid? How good are they? This is already top tier bird. It's corvid, so it's top tier. So I love it. But, within the corvid hierarchy, Jays I usually put a little bit lower because blue jays are kind of jerks. But I think he's my favorite jay. My favorite of all the jays. Gray jay. They're so cool. They're so pretty. They're so cute. I love a lot of their cool little silly behavior. What do y'all think?
They're very cute. They look very fluffy, like and soft.
I really
Yeah.
like this picture right here.
Fluffy
Yeah,
software.
that's
Yeah, it's a
cool.
great picture. Whoever took this. Ow. If peanut. So yeah, if you're ever in the woods of Canada and you see some of these around, get a couple peanuts and hold
Drink
your
some
hand out
water.
and drink some water. Just be sure, as usual, if you are feeding birds nuts or berries, make sure they are unsweetened and unsalted, because though they can eat salt and sugar, it's not that good for them. You know, raises your little birdie blood pressure.
Aw,
You want to give
can't
them.
have that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's not going to kill them. In fact, you know, they just scrounge and steal a lot of salt. You know, they're the camp robbers. They'll steal your salty snacks anyway. But if you're intentionally trying to feed them, it is best for their health to give them things that don't have any added sugar or salt. They get what they need of their sugar and salts just from the natural stuff. Just feed them salt. Yeah, just put out a salt lick for the just put out a salt lick for the
Yeah.
birds. Yeah.
They love that.
Yeah, they love it.
Mhm.
Birds love a salt lick. All right, so that's all we have then for the bird of the day. A wonderful bird of the day. I'd like to thank my Jeopardy contestants, Nail, Axie, and Rena, for joining in and having ourselves a great bird of the day and a great episode of a Jeopardy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
I'm glad you had fun. And Axie, Fred, I'm going to be calling you
Yes.
back for the Tournament of Champions.
Oh gosh.
Gosh.
You can do it.
Yeah, you're going to have to play against
Okay.
smart people.
Oh no. No. Can I have Leaf sub in for me? Can that be?
No, no,
No, okay.
no.
He thought about it for a second too. He was like,